So hello everyone. First of all, let me tell you about myself. I'm Rohit and I am the faculty of history here in Vishnu IAS, and I just completed the world history for the previous batch as well as medieval history today. And welcome to the orientation session as far as world history is concerned. Now, all of you who are here and those who are in the online medium, can you all confirm one thing? How many of you have prepared for this exam, have an idea? You have the idea, you all have idea. Similarly, everyone, those who are sitting on the online platform, I hope everybody has an idea about this exam. Now, specifically when it comes to world history, let me tell you one thing very clearly. As far as UPSC is concerned, this portion only comes in mains. UPSC's prelim syllabus very clearly says Indian national movement and history of India. So prelims clearly says to us that they will not ask us the questions on world history. And then comes your mains. In mains, specifically the syllabus of this subject is something like this. These are the exact words of UPSC. UPSC mentions that history of the world will include events from 18th century. See, 18th century means 1700 onwards. So any event that has happened from 1700 onwards. Now, if you see what they have written is, they have written Industrial Revolution. UPSC mentions World Wars, redrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, and of course the political philosophies like communism, capitalism, socialism, etc., etc. Now, if you all look, first of all, let us talk about the, I would say, your world history syllabus only. UPSC is hardly mentioning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 topics. Only 6 topics. So the question is, does it mean that they will ask only 6 questions or 6 topics only? Of course not. So basically, if you see here, world wars include both the world wars, 1 and 2. When they mention redrawal of national boundaries, invariably it means they may ask you the question on unifications of the country like Italy, unification of Germany. Of course, in those days, America was not an independent country, and America became independent through American War of Independence. So invariably, American War of Independence will be asked, which we study as American Revolution. Of course, guys, nothing is written about this, but I personally feel the most important topic of this entire syllabus is French Revolution. And invariably, French Revolution, and under that only a subset is Napoleon Bonaparte. That also becomes a very important topic. So, what I am trying to say, through redrawal of national boundaries, what UPSC has said, we are going to ask you everything. Any major event that has happened in this time can be asked to us. Along with that, now look at second most important thing. All of you notice, everybody, those who are online, I hope you all are getting this. Did UPSC say from 1700 till how long? We are in 2024. UPSC is not clarifying that, see, that 1700 to 1800 or 1900 or 1950 only will be asked. Because under the redrawal of national boundaries, you all know not exactly many boundaries were redrawn, but under Cold War, we had we had Korean War, North Korea, South Korea. We had Vietnam War. The North and South had got divided. Of course, Germany had been bifurcated. Later, East and West Germany came together. Afghanistan, so much of things are happening itself. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to look at almost everything from 1700 onwards till this point, either under world history or it will start under your IR or somewhere. So you have to be understanding of the bigger picture. Now, the good question or the good point is this comes only for mains. Now, if I was studying a particular topic for prelims, I would remember every fact that, okay, Krishnadev Rai, he was given this title, okay, that ruler brought this coin, XYZ. But under mains, I don't have to be, guided in that manner. If I don't remember a fact also, not a problem. I'll skip that. But overall picture I should know. So for example, if I am studying, let's say, French Revolution, invariably, for every event, we need to first of all understand why did that event happen. If something has happened, let me explore the causes. So there would be cause of American Revolution, Cold War, unification of Italy, cause of unification of Germany, cause of colonization, cause of decolonization. Every place cause. Of course, every place the second topic would be, if there is such a big thing, it wouldn't have happened in a day. It would have taken some time. There would have been events. So for example, in French Revolution, Bastille Fort is attacked. Before that, there was tennis court oath. Similarly, after that, there would be something. So we need to understand the points, or I would say the events. Of course, every place there must have been some result. At the end of French Revolution, there would have been a result. At the end of American or unification. And finally, the big picture would be the impact of these. By American Revolution would have some impact, French Revolution would have some impact on India, impact on France, impact on world, impact on Europe. Like this, we'll have to see the impact. Another thing can be that sometimes they may bring, let's bring two topics together, compare American and French Revolution. Bring out the similarities, bring out the dissimilarities between unification of Italy and Germany. They may talk about, okay, how are these two world wars similar yet so dissimilar? Of course, between the two world wars, there are major events like Nazism and fascism. Hitler and Mussolini are talked about. Are you getting my point? So invariably, all these things are to be covered as far as our syllabus is concerned. Now, if you all see, clearly, world history is big. It is a big syllabus. But then, I always say to people, those who are preparing for UPSC, first thing, learn the syllabus. Second thing, look at PYQ. See, I know you would have seen the syllabus this much. Maybe some of you would not have known about all these points. But for that, teachers are there. They told you. But now, let us look at the PYQ to have a feel that what type of questions UPSC asks from world history. So, for example, if we see, and books I'll come in some time. Leave this for a second. I'll come back to this. Everyone, we say the world history orientation as far as UPSC is concerned starts from 2015. Yeah, Arvind, please tell me. Please mention your question. Of course, we are in 2024. Guys, 2013 we take because this is the year when the syllabus of UPSC had totally changed. And if you see, 13 is the best year when it comes to UPSC. So it is like 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 2. So barring these 2 years, the number has not gone beyond 2. It has remained between 0, 1 or 2. You can add 13 years. How many questions? 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. 17 questions in 13 years. And that also give me some time. I'll show you these 17 questions are also not entirely world history questions. I'll show that to you. But then one thing I understood based on last 13 years that UPSC has been neglecting world history. For one question, we wrote so many topics. And here now we see in the last 17 questions, what are the topics? If I see the topics, all of you, look at my first topic, Industrial Revolution, isn't it? What I find is Industrial Revolution. Okay, it seems Industrial Revolution is a important chapter for world history. Then I saw American Revolution. And what I find is one more year there was a question, but then that question was both American and French. And you can see there is no other question as far as French Revolution is concerned. We missed, last one also had one Industrial Revolution question. So if we say like this, IR is equivalent to 4 right now. American Revolution is equivalent to 1.5. French Revolution is 0.5. Then if I come to next big topic, I find colonization 1, decolonization 2, decolonization 3, decolonization 4, decolonization 5, colonization 6. So let's put C and D together, colonization and decolonization 6. Finally comes your world wars. Let's take period between world wars as 1, world wars as 2, world wars as 3 and World War 1 as 4 and put this as 4. Last question is Russian Revolution, RR equivalent to 1. You can see 17 questions have basically come from 6 topics only. We wrote so many topics, but this is the reality that most of them have come from basically some particular areas. So if I was preparing or if I was teaching you people, I would tell you that, what's your name? Sairam. That Sairam, let us focus on certain things. So Sairam will say what? Let's focus on IR, Industrial Revolution. Let's focus on French Revolution, American Revolution. Let's see, of course, the world wars. That's very important. And also we should focus on colonization and decolonization. That's something, of course, it doesn't mean that we'll not study other topics. We will study. But then if you think Cold War, I start giving 1 hour to every topic. My Korean War will take 1 hour, Vietnam War will take 1 hour, while my Suez Canal crisis will take 1 hour. By Cold War, we should deal in, let's say, half an hour only. An overall idea we should take, not every event. So we prioritize our topics. Getting my point? So two things we have done. We looked into the syllabus, we decided our topics. We looked into the PYQs, we decided what are more important for us. And this is something that you all, those who are online, my request to you people also, this is one thing that you should do every time. Every time, PYQ, syllabus. Based on this, see, tomorrow if they ask you one new thing, I'm not saying leave the others. We will definitely study. But then our pattern changes. I can tell you one thing. Last question on colonization, decolonization came in which year? 2018. See, after that, no question has come. So maybe UPSC's focus has these days shifted from this topic. And if you see, last 6 years, the questions are mainly IR, World War, American French. And these are the really important topics. Nobody can teach world history without these topics. Now, everyone, let us look at the 17 questions that came. I'll tell you. I mentioned 17. Literally, there are not 17 because some of them are questions which will not be counted in world history but can be counted under modern. But I have kept it over here just to show you something. Let's start with 2024. How far is correct to say First World War was fought essentially for the preservation of balance of power? Absolutely World War question. Look at question number 2. Though the word writes how far was the Industrial Revolution in England responsible for decline of handicraft and cottage industry in India. Right, this is a modern history question which we study under economic history of India. Of course, because they have written Industrial Revolution, so I have kept it over here. But in reality, if I say, I could have said this is not a question of world history. Getting my point? Let's move to 23. Of course, bring out the socio-economic effects of different railways in different parts of the world. Now guys, railway I did not teach you specifically. But when I was teaching you unification of Italy, in that one point is unification is one of the causes of unification is railways. When I am teaching you unification of Germany, I tell you one of the causes of unification is railways. But bhai, even if I did not teach you, you think about India. In India, railways came in 1853. You think you are from which state? Telangana. I am from Bihar. Earlier, what used to happen, if I have to come from Bihar to Telangana, it would take me 15 days. Railways, when they were built, now it will take maybe 7 days, 5 days. What happened? Distance got reduced. Now I started feeling that feeling of nationalism developed in me also. Railways, one of the reason is it helped in the development of nationalism. Number two, we both may belong to different caste, different religion. We might be speaking different language. Of course, we are from different region, but we both are traveling together. That also helped in what? Feeling of nationalism. Of course, railways also, why did the British build it? To exploit our economic resources. Cotton from Telangana can be taken to Mumbai port quickly. And finished goods from Mumbai can be brought back to Telangana quickly. So, what railways did in India, some of those points can be lifted and written in a world history question. Isn't it? Similarly, if you see 22, there was no question. 21, of course, definitely a question of two world war. 19, definitely how American and French Revolution have led the foundation of modern world. Totally that question. 18, again you see, why endangered labor was taken by the British from India to their colonies? Have they been able to preserve their cultural identity over there? Not entirely a, world history question. It is also linked to India's history. Similarly, 17, decolonization of Malay Peninsula. Similarly, anti-colonial struggle in West Africa. How did Industrial Revolution first occur in England only? Why was Germany or was they responsible to the two world wars? Similarly, if you see this question, the new economic policy of 21 of Lenin had influenced the policies India adopted after independence. Now, this is again our history. Of course, we were inspired by Russian Revolution. Similarly, see, what were the major political, economic, social developments in the world which motivated the anti-colonial struggle in India? Of course, the points would be there, but we study this in modern. Last thing, I'll show you one last question. You can see here, latecomer in, 2013, American Revolution, Economic Depression, Industrial Revolution, Africa. So overall, out of 17 questions, everyone, 14 2 questions. Your Russian Revolution and the, this third question. Similarly, 18, we have already written about 24. So I can say the question of 18 and 14, the two questions that Russian Revolution and decolonization was there, is not entirely linked to world history. So what happened? 13 questions, 13 years, one question per year. Now, good thing about Vishnu IAS, I know because I teach many other places also, I can tell you, many places they have stopped teaching world history. They say for one question, why should we teach? But that does not mean, that 1 mark, 2 mark, 5 marks, 10 marks, that can create a huge difference. And so, good thing is that they ask that this should be taught. And here my personal belief is that 25-30 hours is a good number to teach your world history. And if 25-30 hours gives us one answer, it's a very good thing. If I'm getting 6 marks out of 15, 7 marks out of 15, or even 8 marks out of 15, it would be a great thing. Now I just completed. Those who are online, I cannot show you, but I bring my notes, so you can pass. You all can have. I always suggest people that you should have these notes for yours. So whatever subject you are preparing, so which all topics can be asked. So keep those concise notes. That helps us that in the last day when we have to write one answer or anything, we can rely on our notes. See, for one answer, you gave your 25 hours in the classroom. Now don't go back home and now again give 25 hours to make the notes. So our way of teaching or our way of learning here is that in the class only the students, with the class only they keep on writing. Of course, you are made to understand the whole idea and then they are dictated a bit so that they write. And tomorrow, of course, after every chapter, there are enough questions given so that if they want to practice, they can write and the teachers would check the copy and they would get to know whether they are on the right track or not. So notes plays an important role because, see, I have brought two books also for you. Again, see here, one is Normal Law. It's a very famous book. Normal Law, if it's coming or not. And the other is Ranjan Chakravarti's book. Now, if you see, this is almost 500 plus page. This is almost 400 plus. Now, I cannot ask you people to go and read this book. Because again, you will say, sir, one question. No, we should be thinking about this that, see, if they would have given me 10 questions, I would have asked you to read it 10 times. If they are giving you one question, so as a teacher, it is my responsibility that I read this book. You don't read this book, you rather read what? I told you. I dictated you in the class, and based on that, we hope that whatever we studied in 25 hours, whatever we did right in the 25 hours, based out of that, the question should come. So as a teacher, I should prioritize which area is important. Okay, focus on this. Of course, 1 or 2 pages notes here and there is also given that, okay, for example, I taught you American Revolution separately, I taught French Revolution separately. Comparison, I'll give 1 page notes because you know everything now. Comparison you can do on your own. Look at that. So this is something that you have to do. Okay, I've got a question. Please keep the book in group for reference. I'm not sure, Ramya, which group you are asking. But let me tell you, it is Normal Law and another is Ranjan Chakravarti. And again, I'm saying, Ramya, I'm not asking you to buy the book. That's the whole reference thing. It is for the teacher to read this book. As a student, my point for world history to you people is that rely on my notes. So if those who are here, if you meet any of the students, you can see, I'm very sure that in the world history, in the classes, they would have written around 50 pages. And that's more than sufficient. I expect them to read that again, to write their answers based on those notes. Of course, later you might think, sir, that can I read something, 1 chapter or something and can add over there? Yeah, that's your prerogative. If you have the time, definitely, why not? But then if you don't have the time, I don't expect you to give because reading 500-page book is not something, a very small thing. So you have to utilize your time in the best possible manner. Getting my point, Ramya? I hope it's clear. Arvind and all those who are online, I hope everybody is understanding what we are trying to say. Now, I expect, please ask me some questions. If any one of you, those who are sitting and those who are online, please, any query, I'm speaking continuously, any query that you have till this moment. Yeah, of course, notes would be for me. So some places you might feel the handwriting is not that great. But then the whole idea is it should serve yourself. It's your notes. You write it in any manner. Only thing is you should understand it later. The whole thing is, I personally believe writing is very, very important. And logic of that is when we are only reading, a lot of time what happens is mechanically we are looking at the book reading, but the mind is thinking about something else. Along with the reading, when you keep on writing, I know, don't write a lot, you may not have that much time, but keep on jotting down something. It keeps your mind totally focused on that. Okay, reading and writing, reading and writing. You cannot think about a third thing then. That's why some amount of writing always helps as far as our UPSC preparation is concerned. Please, any one of you, I hope I talked about the syllabus, I talked about the PYQs, I have shown you all the PYQs. I told you about the books. I have shown you how to, if you want to write the notes, it's all there. Anything that comes to your mind, any one of you, I'll be more than happy to help you. Anything, those who are online, please ask me, any one of you. See, I'll tell you, many people, they usually get worried about history. But personally, I'll tell you, as long as you treat history as a story and let the story connect to the next part, there will not be any issue. It's all a story. And world history is the best manifestation of that story. American contributed to French. End result of French was Napoleon. Napoleon was one of the causes of the unification of Italy and unification of Germany. The fact that these nations got unified much later led to the colonial hunger, and the Germany's unification and of course Kaiser-William's policies led to World War I. In the World War I, Germany got defeated so badly, Treaty of Versailles was brought, which created so much of anger in the minds of the German people that led to the rise of Nazism. Italy was also disappointed after World War I. There the rise of fascism happened. World War I only contributed to the severe economic issues in the world in the late 1920s. All these resulted into your World War II. And at the end of the World War II, the world had got divided into two halves that led to your Cold War. In 1 minute I have told you, but trust me, this is a beautiful story. Everything is interconnected, absolutely interconnected. There is no doubt about this fact. And that's why I say world history, if I'm told what is the most interesting part, I of course say modern, because I know about Nehru, I know about Gandhi much more than, let's say, Kaiser-Williams. But what is more interesting, fascinating, there is nothing more fascinating than world history. It is like reading a very good novel. And I always say to people that subjects like post-independence, world history, treat it as a novel. Think about that, okay, you are reading something in your free time and knowing about the world, what all changes, what all big events have happened as far as the world is concerned. Anyone who is there online, any query, anything that comes to your mind, please ask me, everyone. If there is no query, then should we call off the session? Done? Hopefully everything is clear. Thank you, everyone.